Good afternoon, everybody. It is noon. It's noon. It's lunchtime. How you doing? It's Jody K with 94.5 The Moose. What a beautiful, beautiful day we're having. We have a great event coming up, but first I want to thank our sister stations, WSGW AM and FM, 106.3 The Core, and KISS 107 from Alpha Media in Saginaw. We're live on all our stations' Facebook pages. We got a wonderful event coming up in a couple of weeks on Saturday, May 20th. It's the Grit Your Grief 5K Run on the Runway. And there's a reason why they're calling it 5K Run on the Runway. And I want to introduce to you Chris from the Children's Grief Center for the Great Lakes Bay region, and also James from, he's the airport director at MBS International Airport. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi there. So, Grit Your Grief 5K Run on the Runway. First, let me ask you, well, let me tell you, and you know this, it's at the airport on the runway. So tell me exactly, well, how did this all come about for a Grit Your Grief 5K Run on the Runway? There's going to be people running on the runway at MBS. So well, let me tell you the date first. May 20th. It's a Saturday. And what time are you going to be starting?
The 5K itself is going to start at 9 a.m., but we're going to have registration open at 8 a.m.
All right. So what is about this? Well, we have over at Alpha Media. But what is this? Grit Your Grief. What does that mean?
Well, it's really all of it's an event that was going to help us fund the Grief Center. So it's our major fundraiser for the year. It's our third annual race. Our founder, Camille Drace-Nitsky, had the first race was in Midland, and the second one was in Saginaw. And then as we were planning this third one, we were trying to think of an innovative way to do it, a way that would get lots of people out. And we've been working with Andy Brady from Dig Deep Races, and we asked him. We said, Andy, tell us where do the runners want to be? Where do they want to go? And it ended up that he has had some conversation with some other folks the past couple of years, and MBS International, the idea of having it on the runways came up. There's been some other events. Was one a little while ago at Flint Bishop. There's been some other trends of runs on runways, and we thought we would approach MBS and see what they thought about having our event at the airport. And here we are today. It all worked out. We got a hold of James. Actually, I think Andy made that initial contact. And once that was done, here we are. We're ready to go, and we're going to do this.
So, James, have you ever done anything like this at the airport?
Have not ever done one at this airport that I can find any record of. I've done them at other airports, so they are usually fun events. But I think this will be the first time at MBS.
I don't think it'll be the last time either. I think we're going to
hope not.
Yeah, we're going to have so much fun. Now, when you say 5K run on the runway, is the airport going to be closed? I mean, do you have
no, the airport will not be closed. Been working with Chris and his team to come up with a route that works where we could still have the at least one runway open and available for aircraft to come in and out, and keep safe distances from the runners. So right. We came up with that route, and the FAA has signed off on it, so we're all good.
And I didn't even think that you'd have to ask the FAA. Of course you do. And there's so much room out there. So this is the perfect place for an event like this. Now, Chris, what are we raising money for?
So our agency, we provide a healing environment through peer support for children's, teens, and their families that are grieving a death in their family. That's the mission of the Children's Grief Center, and everything that we do is at no cost to families who come and take part in our services. We also reach out to schools. This past school year, we will have been in 33 schools across the Great Lakes Bay region and beyond. And again, at this time, we don't charge for any of those services. We have 6 employees here at the Grief Center that make everything happen. And we drive over across 13 counties to get to schools. And we have families across those 13 counties also that come to our groups. We host groups here in Midland at our home office, which is just around the corner from Costco. We have space in Saginaw at the Children's Museum that we rent from them, and we run a satellite group there. We also rent space in Bay City at Unity, which works out great because it's a previous elementary school, so there's lots of room to spread out. So we host groups there as well. So every penny raised from this 5K event will go towards supporting everything we do here at the Grief Center and all the families that we serve.
That's amazing. How many, I don't know how to phrase this question. How many kids do you think you see, in a month?
Well, a month, we have 4 groups that meet a month. We actually, our Midland groups were so big that we made them into 2 separate nights, and then Saginaw and Bay City. So I would say in a month, we probably see about 100 to 150 kids. They come on some come on a regular basis, some come as they need to. Grief is not the same for every single person. And the way they handle it is different. And so we meet them where they are. They are invited to come as long as they want or come, on their own schedule. We have some kids that have started with us from when they were little because we serve ages 4 to 18. And we have some that started when they were 4 and stayed with us all the way till they were 18. And again, some started and they come and go. So yeah, we serve quite a few kids here at the agency.
Chris, the first time I had heard about Grit Your Grief was a few weeks ago when you guys were putting together and we were talking about doing something with you guys. I didn't understand. I guess I did. I really didn't understand the impact and what you do. And there might be listeners out there who have no idea that this even exists.
Sure.
That there's a place to go for kids to, to deal with their grief. And wow, I'm blown away. I'm almost in tears already. We'll get to that. But so you're raising money for your charity, which is the Children's Grief Center, Great Lakes Bay region, which you cover more than that. Sounds like you touch more than just our 3 counties here in the Great Lakes Bay region. But how does someone get involved with the run? Can they still sign up? Do they have to have a team? Can they run by themselves?
Yes, they definitely can still get signed up. So if they go to our website, which is childrensgriefglbr.org. There's a message on the top. There's a top banner, and then there's a button right there that says Learn More. They can click on that, and that'll take you right to our race sign up website.
It's crawling below right now. So,
oh, yeah. Right. Yep. There it is. Absolutely. And so they can sign up there. Registration, since we're a week and a half out, it's $45 for the runners, but you can actually walk this too. So it's a run walk event. Okay. And then on top of that, there's also a color run for kids, which is going to happen after. The color run, quick disclaimer, that won't be on the runways. It's going to be in a grassy area outside because of all the color that we're going to put on the kids as they go. So that'll be outside the gated area. But they can definitely still sign up. If somebody decides that morning that other plans fell through for the day and they want to show up and register that morning, we can definitely take care of that as well. So yeah, that all starts, like I said before, registration will open at 8, the 5K starts at 9, and then the kids color run will start at 10:30. If you don't mind me, Jody, pitching some of the other things though, we've got food trucks there. We're going to have
my next question.
It was.
So all the vendors, what else is going on there besides the run?
Yeah, so we have food trucks that are going to be there. We're going to have a kids zone put on by our own program director, Gabby McGuire. She's got crafts that are ready out there. She's got games. She's got tie-dye shirts. We've got first responders from Tittabawassee Township Police and Fire, from Michigan State Police, Tri-City Post, the Bay County Sheriff, and Midland County Sheriff. They're all bringing heavy equipment for the kids to look at and see. We've got bounce houses brought to you by Bouncing Bellas. We've got Isles Entertainment. He's going to bring we have a DJ out there for the kids to be able to hear some tunes and dance to. No, that's okay. So, it's trying to create a great family environment. And that's, we're asking for a $5 spectator pass if anybody wants to come and participate in that. For families that are more than 4 people in their family, we're capping the spectator passes at $20 because we don't want to outprice anybody. And the spectators also will be able to cheer on the runners and in a small portion. We got to keep them together, but they'll be able to cheer on the runners just inside the gate of the secure area.
You are blowing my mind. I had no idea that all of that was happening. It's not just the run on the runway, the 5K. You can walk. You can sign up even on that day if you're like, okay, I'm going to go do this today. You don't have to do any of that. You can just show up and donate your $5 and be a spectator. And it's just that sounds like a fantastic day. What time do you think it's going to wrap up?
1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. We're gonna get out of James's hair.
James is probably happy for a little bit of difference than watching airplanes come in and go out, right?
Yeah, actually. And in addition to the things Chris will have, he mentioned some heavy equipment. For those who are out doing the run walk or even in the spectator area inside the fence, there's going to be a lot of the airport equipment out there. That's kind of, visual markers of the areas that can be, but these are big trucks that I can't get off the field, and most people don't even get a chance to see. So it's kind of unique in that aspect.
They are very cool. I know I've seen you at some parades with that. The Munger Parade, I think I saw you.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Munger. It was Walleye Fest.
Yeah, the Walleye Festival. Yeah, we like to do that. And those trucks are not our big trucks. So we have bigger trucks we can take in town. They don't handle in town.
Yeah.
These are trucks people don't normally see.
Absolutely. This is going to be such a great event, and there's more to it. And how long have you been planning this, Chris? How long have you been planning this?
Several months now. I think our first meeting with James was back in October, November, something like that. So a lot of conversation about what James needed to prepare for the FAA and TSA and so on. And once James gave us the green light, then we started on everything else.
Right. So James, when he came to you, you have to call someone and say, hey, this is what we want to do.
That's the initial call. And they come back and say, okay, well, now you just need to submit a 10-page plan with what you're going to do. And then after we approve it, take it to the TSA and submit a different plan for them to approve. And it take a little bit of time. And I know Chris was sweating for a little while because we were waiting for final approval. We finally got it. I know he's, had a big sigh of relief that day, but
you could hear me all the way over here, couldn't you?
Yeah. It's a lot of hurdles to go through, but we want to make sure that everybody's out here safely and that the airplanes can still come in and go.
That is so amazing. I'm so happy that it's happening. And I have a feeling this won't be the last time there. I mean, it's the perfect venue for something like this, something that's large, and there's lots of room out there. So tell me what it is again, what the who, what, when, where, and why, Chris.
Sure, absolutely. So it's our 5K Run the Runway at MBS International Airport on May 20th. Registration starts at 8. The 5K itself starts at 9. The kids' color run will happen at 10:30, and to register for all of those pieces, you can go to our website, which, like you said, is scrolling on the bottom. There's a button right at the top of that page, and registration is still open. If you decide that day that you're able to come out and join us, be there by 8. We'll get you a bib, we'll get you registered, and you'll be out there. Again, we also have all of the other pieces to the festival environment that I mentioned before. I do also want to throw out a special thank you to our title sponsor, Meyer and Associates, and also Yep. They've been huge supporters. And I want to throw out a thanks to James as well, because I know he's done a ton of work to make this happen. And MBS is James, in particular, and his cohorts are great partners. And we're, like you said, Jody, we're excited to have this repeated out at the airport for years to come. And why are we doing this? This is we do other fundraisers during the year. We are funded by some grants and some sponsorships, but this is our big one. This is where we get the majority of our funding to cover our budget for the services we provide for families, the evening groups, and as well as reaching out to school systems across the region and beyond to fill that gap that I know that schools are having a hard time filling. So when it comes to grief, we've got experts here at the Grief Center to help out with that, to help kids in particular. And so all this, every penny raised will go to helping our agency continue that work.
Wonderful, wonderful work that you do. And some of my listeners, some of our collective listeners probably didn't even know this existed.
Sure.
Your place. So it's good to get the word out for that, because it's so important. Our kids are our future, and it's just, wow. I'm so happy that you did that. And I'm happy with you, James, too. I love your airport. I fly out of MBS every chance I get. I don't want to go anywhere else. Well, that and I live in Auburn, so it's around the corner. But it's next Saturday, May 20th. If you want to go and get in, go to the link below and sign up there. Get a team together. This is going to be so much fun. And if you want to be just a spectator, it's only $5 to get to be a spectator. If you have a family of 5, they're just going to keep it 20. They're going to cap it. So if you have, because there are people out there, and I have a few friends that have like 8 kids in their family.
Yeah.
This is going to be a great day out for them. And there's food trucks and all kinds of things going on. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I know we're going to chat with you again next week. You get my morning show partner, Jim Biggins. It's going to be 2 totally different interviews, just so you know. Maybe, I don't know. But thank you, everyone. And I hope we do this again next year. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.